And hello everybody, welcome back to another Play With Me video this week. In this video we will be setting up for the month of March. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and tell your friends that I post a new Play With Me video every single Sunday. Now, for March's theme, I've decided to go for a botanical, colorful... Well, original idea was butterflies, but butterflies are really hard to draw, and also they take up a strange amount of space, and what are butterflies without flowers and other botanical elements? So then I decided to go for more of a botanical feel. But the butterflies did stick around to float above the plants. Starting off with my cover page, just using pink and purple watercolors. These watercolors, of course, are from my Crayola markers that I used. If you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I just dip a paintbrush into some water, dab my paintbrush onto the tip of my marker, dip it into some water, and then all of a sudden you get watercolor. It's not the greatest quality of watercolor, but it'll do for me. After I dabbed a little watercolor all around the circle, I let it dry completely. If you don't let it dry completely, your whatever pen you use will just bleed through and it will look absolutely disgusting. Please take your time and let the watercolor dry completely. Not just, oh, it feels cold, but it feels dry. No, dry completely. Your page might get warped during the process. Hey! But I'm just using my Micron .005 pen. No, it's just a 005 pen to draw all the way around the circle. This was a tedious process, and I have sped it up to be faster than the rest of the video just because I don't think you want to see it. One difficulty I had was finding all the different botanical things to draw. I didn't just want to draw leaves the entire freaking time. So I did Google up some YouTube videos and some Pinterest photos, give me ideas on what kind of little doodles I should do of plants. I did also make a 50 plant doodle idea, but that was very different than these little drawings, so maybe I should redo that video. Thoughts? And then I went in with my Staedtler Fineliner to do the month title in the middle of the circle. And moving on now to the calendar portion of this monthly setup, I did the exact same thing I did in the circle, but this time I added it to the sides of the calendar the same way I did in January when I added the clouds to the side of the calendar. I was getting my inspiration from one of my old bullet journal spreads, because why not? I totally drew in every single plant in pencil first just to get a feel of where they're supposed to be and make sure that they're even and pretty. And then I went ahead and did them on camera in pen. The watercolor and the water itself did smear the pencil a little bit, but not enough that I couldn't see the design underneath. I did freehand a little bit of it when I felt like it just wasn't taking enough space on the sides because my pen was thinner than my pencil. And I also had a paper towel handy right beside me so I could dab away any of the extra water I had on the page before it really ruined the page or the ink spread to the other side. But once again, just going in with my Micron pen. Super basic, super simple. This did take a long time. Not only did I have to wait for paint to dry, I had to go through every single little detail. From far away, it looks really perfect and pristine, but at this point, I was tired, and a lot of these lines are drawn really sloppy, but you can't tell, and I'm not gonna put close-up shots. Maybe you'll tell on my Instagram, which, by the way, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out my Instagram at Plan Like That the way it's spelled here. The photos are absolutely gorgeous. Each theme has a color to it, and it's very, very, very pretty. I post almost every single day over there, so you should totally check it out, especially if you want to see close-ups of these spreads, because I don't do it here, but I definitely do it over there. And with the side panels finally done, I could finally move into the middle portion of the calendar. I decided to add butterflies on the corners of certain dates, just like I did with the paper planes in January. By the way, if you haven't seen those January FLAMINGOs, I highly recommend it. The theme was requested by one of you guys. I think it turned out amazing. Then I'm going ahead and taking in some inspiration from my February monthly setup. I'm not doing an entire box. I'm just doing the corners of each box. So I didn't want it to be too black. I did want to keep this theme very light and airy. And I quite like how the boxes looked like last month, so I brought them in this month. I was debating whether or not to put watercolor all on top and the bottom of the page. I did spread it out a little bit, and then I changed my mind and decided to just keep it on the sides. Keep it simple. Don't overdo it. Those are my thoughts anyway. Feel free to spread the watercolor any place you like when you're doing this on your spread, if you're doing it on your spread. By the way, if you're recreating any of my spreads, please tag me on Instagram. I want to see them. It literally makes my day. Some of you even post recreations on Pinterest, which also tag me or send me a message and let me know. I recently found that someone was recreating, or a lot of people recreated one of my spreads from like 2 years ago, and I nearly cried. I never think my work is good enough, but to see you guys recreate it makes me feel that it is. Like it validates my artistic side, and it makes me so happy. So please share your recreations with me. It'll make my day. Moving on to the notes section and the mood tracker section of my monthly setup. I do this every single monthly setup, and I'm taking inspiration again from my February monthly setup. If you haven't seen that, it's a light bulb yellow theme. Very pretty, very bright. Loved it. But just like that month, this month I really wanted to color in something in my mood tracker, so I decided to add little plant doodles along with butterfly doodles. And the plant doodles are already colored, but the butterfly doodles are not colored and are numbered. That way I know what is part of the mood tracker and what isn't. And I also decorated the notes page on the bottom. It actually took me a while to decide where to put the botanical doodles. I was actually going to put them on top, but it just wasn't working out. Eventually I decided to just put them on the bottom. This is why I pencil all my designs first, because if I'd have done it in pen straight away on camera, it would have looked ugly and I would have been sad. So just going in with every single butterfly, this was tedious, and I also didn't want every single butterfly to look exactly the same. So I decided to use different styles of butterflies. There's some that are pointy-ish, some that are round, there's some that have more like looby swirls to them. I actually had to look up different ways to doodle butterflies because I kind of ran out of ideas. And I had to look up some ways. And this monthly setup, I actually remembered to put a little key at the bottom for what mood is what. I might have to change the colors though, because the colors kind of look alike. So might have to change it up, but I did want to stick to the purple and pink theme that I did have going on. Over on the notes section, I did add little butterfly doodles to go with the mood tracker. I didn't want to add too much because I do actually use my notes page very much. And if you notice, this month I actually used 2 cameras. I didn't mess it up like I did last month. Yay, go me! Zoom out, will ya? There you go. And I think my coloring is actually getting a lot better, and I appreciate that. But that is pretty much it for this monthly Plan With Me setup. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and tell your friends that I post a new Plan With Me video every single Sunday, both weeklies and monthlies. And don't forget to check out my Instagram for close-up shots of all the spreads that I make. Thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!